5 miles to midnight. This is the Persuaders. We are getting close to the end of Persuaders. It's been great rewatching this show. This episode is fantastic. Terry Nation. It's great. It's got Joan Collins in there. And I've got Joan Collins' autograph because she was the Siren in Batman 66, one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time. Persuaders is also in one of my maybe top 10 shows of all time. Let's talk about this episode using my space system. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2's the best you can get in any category. I'm going to give the storyline a 1.5. I really liked this one a lot. So there's this sort of mafia boss guy who is having an affair, and now the mob's after him. The lady is dead. The gangster is dead, but he's going to rat out all of his friends and take a plea deal and not go to jail, but he's going to tell on all the big guys. So the cops need to get him out of town, off the border, get him back to the States so he could testify against all of these gangsters. So they need Danny and Brett to. Brett's going to create a diversion. Danny's going to ship him off, get him through the border pass. Or through the blockade, and then try to get him out of town or whatever. Now, Joan Collins is along for the ride. She's a photographer. There's a lot of good little, the story I was going to give it a 1, but I ended up giving it more because there was a little bit of a twist at the end, because the guy that they've been carrying forward is really an agent, and the actual guy who's testifying, who's the rat, is somewhere else. So the bad guys all follow Danny and Brett, and it was sort of like Road Warrior. The gasoline wasn't in the tanker. It's kind of like that. It's pretty good. I like this one a lot. The pacing on this one is a 2 out of 2. There's a lot going on. There's constant action, and because there's this momentum to the story of constant traveling to new locations and doing things, and there's banter between the characters. Joan Collins is really good. Everyone is moving forward. The plot just goes quick, and it just feels like this is really fast paced. This almost could have been a movie. The story, if you added a couple of more elements to the story, you could have made this into a cool little movie. But anyway, yeah, it was awesome. Super good pacing. The artistry, I'm going to give the artistry a 2 out of 2. This had a lot of different locations, and it had a lot of awesome like mountain ranges and things like that. They do. I can't remember if this one was in Italy or Rome or whatever. I don't remember. They always give a title card where it is. It could have been Spain too. I don't remember. But like, it looks amazing. Like the shots in this one, it was very cinematic. There's a lot of cool locations. Pretty good little fights, some shooting. Like good stunt work, good action. This show, out of all of the shows that I've watched from sort of this kind of era that I've seen, has like the best fighting. The fight out, the punch outs and everything are always good. So everything looks really awesome. I'm going to give the characters a 2 out of 2. I loved all the characters. I really like Joan Collins. She was great because she was just like, oh, I'm along for this ride. But then, they kept saying, no, you got to get out. And then she would find a way to get back in. And she was really cool. I liked her a lot. Brett and Danny are on fire, of course. There's a great scene here. So the bad guy's good too. The rat, he's a great character as well when you find out he's the agent at the end. But there's a really nice scene in this one. And this scene has not happened in any of the Persuader episodes I've covered so far, where he asks first the fake rat guy, like the gangster. He asks Danny, like, why are you even bothering doing this? And Danny doesn't really give him a straight answer. But then he talks to Brett. He's like, well, why are you doing this, Brett? And he's like, well, I didn't feel anything before, and now I actually like feel more alive and feel like I'm doing something. I'm sorry, he's actually talking to Joan Collins at the time, sorry. And Joan Collins is like, it's not for this big sense of justice. He's like, yeah, kind of, but like also because it's just giving me some sort of purpose to my life. It was a really good scene. I like that scene a lot. So enjoyment factor, I'll give it a 1.5. I'm just trying to see in my notes if there's any. Yeah, I'll give it a 1.5. If the story was just a little bit tighter, or a little bit more. If there's just a couple more things, it would have been way better, but it's a 9 out of 10. I think this is definitely one of the top episodes of Persuaders. I thought it was great. No mistaken identity stuff or, the usual typical tropes of this show. It's just like a good, solid episode that was fun. You could give it a 10 out of 10 really if you want to, because I'm really nitpicking here just to like kind of not give it a 10. It's sort of like, I don't know if it's a 10, but like it's just under a 10. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm almost, but you could just give it a 10 if you really wanted to. It was awesome. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching. Check out the classic TV playlists. Like and subscribe. Until next time.